Hey everyone, my name is Jessie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Bakemas Day 2. And so for today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make some homemade cinnamon rolls with some cream cheese icing. Now I used a couple of different recipes from this. I took techniques from one recipe and ingredients from another, and so I kind of like meshed it all together. And so I hope you enjoy it, but without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the things you'll need to make your dough is half a cup of melted butter, 2 cups of milk, half a cup of granulated sugar, 1 packet of active dry yeast, 4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1 cup of flour that is separated. So I'm going to take a large mixing bowl and I'm going to start making my dough. So I have my melted butter, my milk that I put in the microwave for a couple of seconds to bring up to about 100 degrees, adding my sugar, and just giving that a good mix so that our sugar melts into our milk butter mixture. And now we're adding a packet of dry yeast, and we're going to let this sit for 1 minute. Okay, so we let our yeast set, and now I'm going to add 4 cups of flour, but I'm just going to add it in portions just so it is easier to mix and there's no like pockets of flour everywhere. So I'm just giving that a good mix, and I'm adding my second portion, giving that a mix. It doesn't have to be perfect, just want to make sure there's no visible flour. Okay, now I'm taking a clean towel and letting this rest for 1 hour. Okay, so while that is resting, I'm going to go ahead and prep our baking pans. So I have 2 9-inch rounds, and I'm just going to take some butter and grease our pans. Okay, so I took it to the corners and the edges, and now we're just going to set this aside till we need them. Okay, now we're going to start on our filling. So we have some brown sugar, some cinnamon, some room temperature butter, and we're just going to give that a nice good mix to kind of make a cinnamon butter like paste consistency. And this is actually really good, to be honest. It may not look appealing, but it's actually really good. And so now we're just going to let this set aside until we need it later. Okay, so now we're going to start on our cream cheese icing. So in my bowl I have some powdered sugar. Now I'm adding some milk, some melted butter, some vanilla extract, and just giving that a good mix just to make it a little bit easier to mix. And now I'm adding some room temperature cream cheese. And I just did this in portions just to make it easier to mix. Just giving that until it's nice and smooth, and look how glossy and amazing that icing looks. It's so good. And now we're just going to set this aside until we need it. Okay, so our dough has been resting for about an hour, and look how much it has risen. It's so big, and you can see all of those air pockets, which means that our yeast did what it needed to do. Now I'm adding that 1 cup of flour along with the salt and baking powder, and just giving that a good mix until it's nice, well incorporated together. Okay, now I'm adding my second portion of flour and just giving that a good mix. And now I'm just going to flour my surface so that we can start rolling out our dough. Okay, and now I'm just going to knead this for a little bit just to make sure that my dough isn't super sticky. It's okay if it's a little tight, you just don't want it to be super sticky, and you don't want to add too much flour. And so I'm just rolling this out. And I tried to make it as square as possible, roughly about 10 to 12 inches. And now I'm going to add our filling, which is the cinnamon butter amazing deliciousness, and now I'm just going to roll this out. Okay, so now I'm just taking a knife, be careful, and I'm just going to cut off the edges just because they're kind of uneven and there's not that much filling in them, and so those can be like scraps. Now I'm just going to cut this in half, and then those halves in 4s, and then those 4s into 8s, until we have a lot of cinnamon rolls. And then cut those even more. Okay, and that's basically how you make your cinnamon rolls. And so now I'm just going to pop them in the pan, and look how delicious they look. And they're not even cooked yet. Okay, and so we are going to let them rest for another 30 minutes. We're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. But we're just going to let them rest. And they even became even bigger than before. So now we are going to pop them in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20-30 minutes. Okay, our cinnamon rolls are out of the oven. They're still a little warm, and this is a perfect time to start icing them. Now, I don't know about you, but I love tons of icing on my cinnamon rolls. The more icing, the better, if you ask me. And look at all of that cinnamon butter mixture. Yum. Deliciousness. And there you have it, some delicious cinnamon rolls. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I, as always, enjoy making it for you. And don't forget to come back tomorrow for Bakemas Day 3. And also don't forget to click that subscribe button along with that notification bell so you be notified every single time I upload a video, because we still got more Bakemas videos coming your way and you don't want to miss those. But until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye!